Hey guys, Mark here. In this video, I'm going to be going over 37 money-making secrets to instantly make your ads more profitable. Number 1, using VO3 to make video ads. This is Google's relatively new AI tool where you can quite literally make anything that you want to. Number 2, using another AI tool called Higgsfield to make extremely realistic static images. You can do a lot of formats with Higgsfield, but specifically using the Higgsfield Soul model within Higgsfield is the most realistic image generation model that exists on the internet right now. Number 3, putting testimonials in your comment section of your ads. This is an example of what this looks like. If you want to take this to the next level, you should specifically choose testimonials, number 1, that are not written by you, that are obviously written by your customers and put in your comments by your customers. But number 2, they should be specifically designed to either overcome an objection or number 2, to install a belief that gets you closer to making a sale. Number 4, replying to all the comments in your ads. Just replying, period, it's going to show that you're a more trustworthy brand. Once again, if you want to take this to the next level, you should use the reply to engage with your customers, again, overcome objections or install an empowering belief. Number 5, publishing Reddit posts around your brand name. Once again, this should ideally be done by your customers so that it is as legit as possible, but people are already going to be going to Reddit most of the time to see how legit your brand actually is. And if they see anything that's going to take them off, anything that's going to ignite just a tiny bit of skepticism, they're not going to buy. Number 6, using cost caps, aka cost per result goal ads for creative testing. This is working extremely well for us right now. Highly recommend it. Number 7, quiz funnels. This is probably the most profitable acquisition model right now for some of the largest brands in the world because it creates this personalized experience and can lead you to get these micro commitments from your customers before they actually buy, thus oftentimes increasing your conversion rate. Number 8, advertorials. This is a style of pre-lander, so a lander that comes before your sales page or before your PDP that once again doesn't look like you're actually being sold to. I have many videos on advertorials on my channel. If you want to check it out, go look. Number 9, listicles. This is very similar to advertorials because it's also a pre-lander, but this is specifically centered around some kind of list, like 5 reasons why, 5 gifts to get for the Christmas season, etc. Once again, these don't necessarily look like they're being written by the brand itself, hence hiding the sales process and potentially increasing your conversion rate. Number 10, using offer-heavy statics for retargeting. Here's an example here. A lot of times with retargeting, what works best is literally just hitting them with an amazing offer. It doesn't have to be some super duper creative thing. A lot of times actually that works significantly less good compared to just having a really hard, amazing offer. Number 11, having an indestructible Facebook infrastructure, specifically a diverse structure of business managers, pixels, pages, and ad accounts so that if at any point in time one of them goes down, you can immediately get it back up. Shout out to CN for the screenshot. Number 12, maximizing your post-purchase average order value. This is something that so many e-com entrepreneurs sleep on. They're all about the order bumps, the upsells, but what about post-purchase, specifically that OTO1? This is the most important step in your entire funnel, and it is the step that has the highest price elasticity, meaning the step with the potential to add the most amount of money to your average order value out of any step in your entire funnel. Number 13, new front-end offers. For example, buy one, get one, buy two, get two, a free gift with purchase. Simply testing new offers can be a super easy way for you to, once again, increase your conversion rate and average order value and make it more easy for you to scale because your economics simply are so much better. Number 14, founder ads. These are ads that are actually being filmed by the founder of the company, or at least it looks that way, because it immediately creates this connection with the customer that, wow, this brand, yeah, they may be a little bit small, but they clearly want to interact with the customer. These are working incredibly well right now. Highly recommend you test them. Number 15, interview ads. Anytime you're able to match the format that is doing really well organically on social media and you just turn that over on paid, you're probably creating a pretty great recipe for printing a lot of fucking money. The interview format, as we know, is very popular. It's been popular for a while. In fact, there's probably new formats now that are even better, but still I see these cranking and doing incredibly well, especially with the younger demographic. Number 16, podcast ads. Same exact concept as number 15, except just transmuted into a different format. Once again, I think we're kind of reaching the point of saturation with podcast ads, but what I'm saying actually is the older demographics are now responding a lot better to podcast ads compared to the younger ones. The younger ones are now like, everybody has a fucking podcast these days, so the amount of credibility and authority is immediately diminished for them. Number 17, long form DR copy, aka direct response copy. Once again, another format that's working incredibly well right now, using some kind of static image typically and a long emotional story centered around all the direct response foundations, having an extremely strong hook, lead, mechanism, big idea, close, everything. And you'd be surprised, like when I write these, the minimum length is around 1,000 words. You're like, who the hell would read an ad worth 1,000 words? Well, welcome to the land of direct response. It fucking works. People will read as much as they fucking want to if the copy is actually good. One of the best VSLs in history was 90 minutes long. Yes, 90 minutes long. Did hundreds of millions of dollars in sales. So the next time you say, oh, that's so long, nobody's going to read it, rethink your life. Number 18, variable stacking. This is the concept I came up with. I have a live on it on my channel. You can go check it out. Essentially, this is taking all the variables that you have that are winning, hence the name, and stacking them all together. For example, taking your winning creative and stacking that with your winning copy, stacking that with your winning funnel, stacking that with your winning payment processor, winning page, winning ad account, winning website host. Like there's so many different variables that most people don't think about. And sometimes you only have like 30% of those variables all aligned, all stacked up. If you stack them all together, it can be incredibly powerful. Number 19, payment processor testing. For example, Stripe versus checkout.com versus EasyPay Direct versus PayPal versus whatever else. A lot of times you will see higher approval rates on purchases in different payment processors compared to other payment processors. And if you're not testing this, you could be potentially missing out on an increased boost in conversion simply because more people are actually able to fucking purchase. You're of course going to have to balance this with payment processor holds because Stripe actually has typically a very good approval rate, but they're also the biggest pain in the ass when it comes to payment processing. There's like basically guaranteed holds when you're scaling. Number 20, Cbos with bid caps. I don't have a whole lot to say here. It's just running campaign budget optimization campaign aligned with really solid bids and scaling those to the fucking moon. I mean, what else is there to say about this? I don't even fucking know. Number 21, ad account testing. A few items ago, I was talking about the variable stacking. Testing ad accounts is definitely a good use of your time because not every ad account performs the same. A lot of times, a regular ad account, for example, will outperform an agency account, and sometimes it's vice versa. Sometimes having a brand new account with zero data on it whatsoever can outperform a more aged account that is starting to decline in performance. You really don't know. That's why it's so important to be testing these to find out which one can give you the lowest cost per acquisition. Number 22, page testing. Same exact concept as before. A lot of times one page will convert better than the other. I highly recommend testing different types of pages, right? You have, for example, a brand page. You have a personality page. You can have interest pages, outdoor hunting, for example. All of these are going to resonate differently with your customer. And a lot of times different formats of ads will resonate with different pages. For example, really direct ads work best with your brand page. Think of those offer heavy statics I was mentioning. But if you're running a VSL, a lot of times that can come better from an interest page or a personality page like this. Number 23, whitelisted pages. This is when you reach out to some sort of influencer with the following and actually run ads directly through his or her Instagram and Facebook account because this immediately boosts the authority. And a lot of times you can have incredibly good performance simply because you're kind of leveraging her audience and all the social proof that goes along with it to sell your product. Number 24, order bumps. These are the epitome of pre-purchase upsells. So I'm talking about post-purchase upsells. This is pre-purchase upsells and an easy way for you to get a higher average order value before they ever hit your post-purchase upsell path. Number 25, split testing different website hosts. So for example, for e-commerce, this could be Shopify versus Funnelish versus Checkout Champ. Shopify typically is always going to win in terms of conversion rate, just the amount of money that they've invested into their checkout process, into their site speed. It's going to be very, very difficult for you to beat. However, you could have other options like Funnelish or Checkout Champ beat in overall profitability because of the customizability of the post-purchase upsell path. With Funnelish and Checkout Champ, there's basically nothing that you can't build. You may need a developer, but there's almost zero real limitation. With Shopify, there's a tremendous amount of limitations. But of course, this is something you have to weigh and something that you have to test yourself. But what I've noticed, I have personally split tested Funnelish with Checkout Champ with ClickFunnels, all head to head, identical funnels. They all look the exact same. One of them got a 2% conversion rate. One of them got a 3.5% conversion rate. And the other one also got a 2% conversion rate. So there's a clear winner, even though they were identical. And I'm not going to get into why. I know why, but I'm not going to get into why in this video right now. It's just telling you definitely something worthwhile to test. Number 26 is subs, aka running subscriptions. This is how all the biggest brands are scaling right now. Everybody knows that ad costs are rising. It's getting more and more difficult for you to just get a customer once. Why get a customer once when you get a customer that pays you every single month for X amount of months? Of course, you have to factor in churn. Having subscriptions is also going to reduce your conversion rate, so you have to factor that into your economics. But long term, this is one of the most scalable vehicles for creating that MRR in your brand and not having to worry as much about just being profitable on that very first order. Number 27 is increased creative diversity, especially after the Andromeda update from Facebook. What you see accounts really favoring is less iterations and more new concepts. So instead of making a VSL or a static and just like 20 tiny micro tests around that, like, new hook hooks, new leads, new scroll stoppers, etc., think greater and start testing ads that are significantly more unique from one to the other. So maybe you test a specific short VSL compared to a static versus a static with long form DR copy versus all these other formats, right? Facebook is clearly favoring this in the post Andromeda update. Number 28 is GeoFunnels. This is where you take one of your main funnels and you simply translate the language and the currency into the language and currency of a new country that you want to operate in. For example, this became super popular starting in 2021 with the whole EU dropshipping thing started to blow up. We know because, we've made a lot of money during that time. And all you do is take something that's working in the US and go and run it in a less saturated market. And just doing that, changing the currency, changing the language, and making it aligned culturally as well, I can't even quantify it. It can unlock a shitload of money for your business. Number 29, de-anonymization. A lot of times when you're driving traffic to your Shopify store, you have a lot of people, you will never get their information. They'll never opt in, they'll never buy from you, but they're still worthwhile to retarget. So if you can't pixel them, then what you can do is use a tool like retention.com to de-anonymize that particular person and put them in email flows, sometimes even SMS flows, to turn that potential buyer into a buyer. Number 30, I don't actually know the exact word for this. I just call it pixel enrichment, but it's simply the process of sending more data from each and every customer back to the pixel instead of just what you have with the standard event. So a good software to use for this is Loadout. And as you can see, it can significantly increase your event match quality, and because it's just sending better data back to your pixel. And as we know, Facebook is a big data platform. So if you can send better data back, all it's going to do is reduce your cost per acquisition, reduce your cost per conversion significantly, because Facebook has a better idea of who you're actually trying to target. Number 31, placing your pixel conversion fire deeper down the funnel. Most people only place it after the original front end purchase, but what you can do is place a pixel fire after somebody actually takes one of your upsells, because then what Facebook is going to be doing is optimizing around buyers that have a significantly higher average order value. And as a result, you're going to be able to run more profitable ads because Facebook is going to be sending you traffic that is more likely to spend more money with your brand. Number 32, surf scaling, aka surfing. This is when you have something that's working incredibly well at media buying level early in the day and you surf the budgets throughout the day, meaning you aggressively increase budgets to ride that increase in performance throughout the day, and then you reset it right around 5 p.m. or around midnight. Number 33, agentic creative analysis. We all think we're fucking geniuses when it comes to running ads. The reality is we kind of suck. And what is always going to be better at thinking through massive amounts of data is not a human brain, but an artificial brain, aka AI. So building AI agents that are designed to analyze your ad data and come up with new ideas is going to be a phenomenal way for you to produce new creative material. Number 34, omni-channel retargeting. A lot of you are only running ads on Facebook, even though you can easily start making a good amount of money. I would say up to 20% additional revenue just by setting up basic bitch retargeting on, for example, Google Shopping, Google Search, YouTube, Gmail, Bing, TikTok, Snapchat, etc. Retargeting money is always some of the easiest money that you can make. And if you don't have it set up, you're leaving money on the table. Number 35, format transmutation. This is the process of taking a winning asset, typically a winning creative, and basically transmuting that winning messaging, because that's all a winning VSL is, right? It's the messaging along with the video in the background into different formats. So for example, you have a winning VSL, you take that entire VSL script and you maybe chop it up a little bit, turn that into a short format, then you turn it into a UGC ad, then you turn it into a direct response static where all the VSL copy is in the ad copy. You already know the messaging converts. Why would you not be running it across multiple formats? Number 36, using automatic rules directly from Facebook. I typically do this if I'm cutting any kind of ad set, ad, or campaign based off the soft metrics. So for example, if the CPC of a particular ad is 3 times the average in the entire account after X amount of spend, that'll be something that'll cut early before I ever let it reach my break-even cost per acquisition. Number 37, creative testing standardization. I didn't even know what to fucking draw for this one, so I'll just explain it. This is the process of narrowing your focus in your creative testing campaigns. What I mean by that is if you look at the breakdown of your entire ad account, you're gonna have a few different places, like 80-20 rule. You're gonna have a few different places that is producing the majority of sales. For example, when you launch creatives and you have the majority of your conversions coming from Facebook and Instagram feeds. Okay, cool. Your creative testing, Facebook and Instagram feeds. If it all comes majority from one country, cool. Do Facebook and Instagram feeds only in one country, and just go level by level, because you want to create an environment where your creatives have the best chance of actually succeeding. And doing this creative testing standardization is going to help you get there. Goddamn, that was a lot of stuff. But thank you guys for watching the video. If you want more stuff like this, trust me, this is like this much that I got in my bag, especially in my bag inside of BBA or our more advanced program, Get Hooked. So if you want to work with me more closely and get more shit like this, you can always click the link in the description and apply for BBA or Get Hooked. Other than that, I do want to see some of you here in Miami. All right. I have my Elite Mastermind happening. It's October 16th through the 18th in Miami. I'll leave a link in the description. You guys can check it out. Other than that, I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.